Good morning. I just came out of a hot Pilates class at the new movement studio. Honestly, I found out over the weekend that they opened a new studio that's actually pretty close to my apartment, which is really nice. I immediately booked a class because at the other two movements locations, the spots usually fill up really quickly, and the hot Pilates there is one of my favorite workouts. So I'm actually very happy that they opened a new studio so close. It was kind of still under construction a little bit because apparently they only opened 2 days ago, but it was a really nice class. I actually probably should have been gatekeeping this location now that it's not too crowded yet, but it was really good. I would highly recommend. And now I'm just walking home, gonna make a coffee and get to work for the rest of the day. Today is just one of those days where I'm gonna be sat behind my laptop all day, which is also kind of why I was a little bit hesitant if I still wanted to film a video, because I have just been insanely stressed the past few weeks, I guess you could say. I don't know, I'm just in a little bit of a funk and I can tell that I really need a holiday. Like, this sounds so dramatic, but we haven't really had like a proper holiday in 2 years, and I also just haven't really had a holiday where I actually don't take my laptop with me, which I feel a little bit nervous about because I'm always scared that things will go wrong and I need my laptop to fix things. I guess that's a common thing if you're partly self-employed, and I don't know, it just freaks me out a little bit. And because of our holiday, I need to do so much work before we leave, which feels just super unrealistic, which is why it makes me super stressed. And because of that, I just don't really feel like I want to film, because for some reason I just don't really like looking at myself on camera. I don't really do fun things because I'm literally just working all the time, and usually I'll have some time to go for a coffee and do things like that. But then I realized that if I don't film, I don't like it. Like, I love filming so much and I don't want to stop doing the things that I like to do just because I feel stressed, you know? Because I feel like at the end of the day, I need to finish all these things, and it's not gonna make the biggest difference if I take like 30 minutes out of my day to film or to go for a little coffee, because in the end, it makes me more productive, I feel like. So if I just stop doing all the things that I enjoy because I feel stressed, that's just not gonna work. So I am filming. I don't know how much I'll take you along because today is a very busy day actually. Like, today I have so many things that I really need to focus on, so I don't think today is gonna be a big filming day. But I do have two exciting packages that I wanted to show you, because on the way back from my workout this morning, I picked up this package from the post office. And I used to always get bikinis on Shein, and I haven't gotten anything from Shein for the past few years because we all need to stop doing that basically. So I saw this bikini online, and I know that it is pretty expensive for a bikini, especially if you usually get them for very cheap, because I just didn't really care about bikinis. But maybe it's because I'm also just taking care of my body a bit more recently, which is why I might feel a little bit nicer in a bikini than a few years ago. But I saw this bikini online and I just instantly knew that I had to get this because I liked it so much, like the color and the pattern. I feel like not a lot of people have this bikini, which might be a delusional thought, and it might also be because of the price of this bikini. Anyways, the bikini is from Exercere, and I've actually never gotten anything from this brand before, but I do really like the brand. It's this bikini, which it's kind of butter yellow, but it's also a little bit more bright than butter yellow, and then it has blue and then brown stripes. I am just obsessed with how this bikini looks, so I was very excited to get this. And obviously it also has matching bottoms, and I'm so excited to wear this and to tan. I didn't think I would get this excited about a bikini, to be honest. And something else I didn't think I would ever get this excited about, is bed sheets. We ordered 2 duvet covers from Crisp Sheets literally like 2 months ago maybe, but it was a pre-order, so we knew it would only arrive like end of May, beginning of June, and now is the beginning of June, so I'm very happy that it finally arrived. And I just want to show you because I think I've talked about this before. We want to get a duvet that's bigger because I feel like it looks a little bit more elegant and just nicer if the duvet cover actually maybe touches the ground, or it actually like covers your bed, because my bed is not very nice looking. It's like a very cheap IKEA bed, but it has a lot of storage underneath, which is really nice to have in this apartment, but it just doesn't look very aesthetically pleasing. So we would just like to have a big duvet cover that kind of covers the bed so it looks kind of chic, I guess, and it's also just comfy to have a big duvet. So we got 2 covers. We don't actually have the new duvet yet because we wanted to wait until we had these, because we were like, we can order a duvet, but if we don't have the covers we can't use it. So I think we're gonna order that when we get back from our trip. But we did get 2 covers for it. There's not really a lot that I can show you about this right now because I obviously can't put it on our bed yet, but we got this like vanilla, I think the color is also called vanilla. It just looks so soft and comfortable. And then we also got this one in a butter yellow color, and I think this is called Smooth Waffle, which has a little bit of like a waffle pattern. This would have actually been such a cute color for spring, but also for summer. And I'm really excited when we get back, when we have our new duvet, we can actually put this on our bed, and I think it's gonna look really cute. And I'm jumping too fast, but Crispies also have these like really cute autumn colors. Like I think there's one called Plum and one is called, what was it? I think it was something like Malbec maybe. I think that's what it's called. But they're like really cute autumn colors, and I'm already super excited to maybe like get one of those when the leaves are gonna start to fall down. It's literally not even summer yet, but I'm already thinking about autumn. And I feel like your bedroom is kind of also your safe space, so I just really want this to be like my comfy and cozy safe space, and I feel like the bigger duvet cover is gonna do a lot for that feeling. So yeah, I was really excited about these packages, so I thought I'd show you. And now I'm gonna get back on my work day. This day has officially been crowned to being the worst day ever to be in public transport. I also don't know why I'm vlogging right now because I'm running so late, and honestly one thing about me is I hate being late. Like I'm always 20 minutes early, like pretty much everywhere. I will fill you in on the details later, but I had to rush home to grab my book, and I did a little bit of an outfit change, and now I'm gonna rush to a book club event actually, and I'm really excited, but I'm late and I hate being late, so I will fill you in on all of the details. But right now I'm gonna grab my bike and rush out of the door. I have had such a hectic day. I don't even know where to begin. Let's start with the good things about my day, because I just came back from a book club event and I have actually never been to like any sort of book club or anything like that, but it was honestly surprisingly good. Not that I was thinking it wasn't gonna be good, but I was a little bit nervous about this. Well, not nervous really, but I had been doubting if I was gonna go or not for a few days, because I've mentioned this so many times, but I'm so busy that I always feel like my brain has to be on and I need to do things, and otherwise I'm not going to be able to finish everything before my holiday next week, and I feel very stressed. So the past few days, every time I was like, I don't want to spend my entire evening going to an event when I should be working, which is just not a very nice thought to have. And at some point I was like, I signed up for this because I know that I'm gonna enjoy it, and these are the things that I want to do more of, and they are a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I feel like that is also good to do sometimes. So I really wanted to go, and I was like, why am I kind of self-sabotaging myself that I don't want to go when I do want to go? So I am very happy that I didn't make the decision to not go, because it was so lovely. It was hosted by Pages and Places. I have been following Caroline, who is one of the hosts, for a very long time. I follow her on Instagram and YouTube, and I just really like her style, and she just seemed very lovely, and I have just been following for a really long time. And Claudia, who's the other host, I actually hadn't been following her before, but she was honestly so kind as well, and it was super lovely to meet them. And I was a little bit hesitant about the meditation part, because I usually don't do like breath work or meditations at all, but I do feel like it's something that could be good for me. So basically, it was hosted at House of Rituals, which is the ritual store in the center of Amsterdam, but above the store they actually have this space where they do like massages and a lot of like spa related self-care things. And I actually had not been there before, so we started with a guided meditation, which it was quite intense, and I can't say that I loved it because it's just not something I usually do, and it's just a little bit out of my comfort zone. But I do get like the kind of relieved feeling, like you do get this kind of like calmness, which I feel like is something I should definitely attempt to do more often or look into a little bit more. Because for example, I was originally gonna do some more work after I got home, but it was already pretty late. I still had to make dinner, and I was like, I probably shouldn't do that, because I feel a little bit relieved and calm from this meditation. And after that we read for a little bit, which was also kind of strange to be reading a book with like 15 different strangers in a room, but it was in a way very calming, and it made me read a little bit more in my book. And I keep saying this, which is probably so annoying, but I have not been reading at all. Like, I started Loved One and I started Outline. I am very intrigued by these books and I really want to read them, but I just simply do not have the time right now. But I am going on holiday, and that's where I'm gonna try and pick it back up, because I do feel like I'm really gonna like this book. I brought Loved One with me, and it was funny because they also mentioned that this was on their list for their book club, and one of the girls in the room actually said that the book was really good, so that also made me a little bit more excited. And it was just honestly super nice to meet some new people. I just had a really lovely evening after I didn't have the best day. Like, this was the worst day to be in public transport. It was actually terrible this morning. Usually we set our alarm at like 5:20, so we get out of bed at 5:30 when we go into the office. We've been trying to walk to the train station mostly, which is like 25 minutes. But this morning we were both so tired and we just didn't really feel like walking, so we were like, oh, we'll just take the bus. So I wake up and it's not 5:30, it's 5:40, because usually it's 5:20 and then 5:30, because for some reason I usually don't wake up with the first alarm. So I woke up this morning, I checked my phone, and it's 5:40. So that first alarm, I didn't even hear that, but today we set it at 5:30 and then 5:40. So that was already maybe not the smartest idea, because I was vlogging, I have to get ready, I have to pack my bag. I should have known that's not that doable within 15 minutes, especially when you're really tired, and I'm just sometimes very confused when I wake up, like I'm on some kind of different planet. So I wake up, it's 5:40, and I'm already feeling a little bit stressed because I'm like, how on earth am I gonna do all of this in 15 minutes? I jump out of bed, I put an outfit on, I got ready a little bit, and then I just took like my mascara and stuff. I took it with me and I just did it at the office. So I grabbed all of the things that I might possibly need at the office, and we left the house around like a little bit past 6 a.m. and we walked to the bus stop, and we were already like, okay, we have like 6 minutes, and it's also like a 6-minute walk. Like, are we gonna make this? I don't know. So we were like fast walking already, and Job kept checking his phone because usually sometimes you can see the actual like live location of the bus, which is quite nice, but that already said the bus was gonna be like 4 minutes or 5 minutes early. In the distance we see the bus, and at that time in the morning, close to our apartment, there is only one bus. So there was no way it was a different bus, and it was like 4 or 5 minutes early. And now this might seem like not a very big problem, but I have a train subscription where I can only check in before 6:30 a.m. or after 9 a.m. and if I leave after 9, I will be at the office at like 11:15, 11:30, which is just too late. Like, I don't like that at all, and especially because today I had to leave before 4 p.m. because that's also like off-peak time for the train in which my card counts. So I have to be at the train station before 6:30. Well, they give you a little bit of spare time, so I have to check in before 6:35. So at that point we didn't feel like we had a lot of options, so we were like, we're just gonna have to walk to the train station. And it said it was like an either 29 or 26-minute walk. I don't remember which one it was, but we walked it in 16 minutes because we were stressed and we were just speed walking, and I had loafers on. So after like 10 minutes, because I knew we were gonna take the bus, so I didn't have to walk very long, that's why I wore my loafers. But if I knew we were gonna walk, I wouldn't have worn my loafers, because halfway I was like, my feet hurt so bad. I feel like I have blood literally everywhere. Sorry for the TMI. So as we were getting closer to the train station, we were kind of like imagining like, oh, we don't want to like just miss the train. As long as I can check in before 6:35, we're fine. We'll just take the next train, no worries. But we make it to the train station, and we took the wrong route at some point because we were walking, and we could have went like this because the bus that we usually get up on is in the opposite of the train station, like how we would usually walk. So we could have gone this way, which was probably like 2 to 3 minutes faster, but we kind of walked the same route that we usually do without thinking about it. So at some point we were like, this is probably longer, like we should have gone that way, and we were both like, oh shit. And then we got to the train station and we walk up the platform, and the train was literally just leaving, even with a minute of delay, which is maybe even the most frustrating part, because first of all, if we didn't walk the wrong route, we would have made it. And also, why is it delayed but then not like 3 minutes, because then we would also make it? And oh, that was just really frustrating. Anyways, then we were like, okay, in like 10 minutes we can take the train to Utrecht, and then from there take the next train. So we go on that train, and mind you, this is literally the start point of most of these trains. So we're on the train, everything is fine. It is delayed before it even starts. Like, how does that happen with trains so often? So it was already a little bit delayed, and we were like, okay, are we gonna make this transfer? So as we were sitting on the train, that was the time where I could finally check my feet, and my whole socks basically were covered in blood, and I was in so much pain. It was actually disgusting, and I was like, I can't wear these socks all day. So we get to Utrecht and we only had 1 minute. So basically we jumped out of the train, ran to the other one, and it also left right in front of our eyes. At that point it wasn't very fun to be with us, to be fair. However, that did give me an opportunity to buy some new socks at the train station, which was actually very convenient because I didn't want to be walking around with bloody socks all day, if I'm being honest. So then we had two options. We could either wait for like 30 minutes, but then we would be 45 minutes late than our original arriving time, and we could also arrive 30 minutes late, than the original time, but then we would still have to transfer one more time. So we took the train from Utrecht to Amersfoort, and then from Amersfoort we had to take another train, and then eventually we made it to the office. So you think, okay, you had a terrible morning, but from here it will only go up. You have a nice event, you'll be fine, everything is good. I feel like this is such a boring story and no one's gonna care about this, but I just have to share because this was a big part of my day and it was so frustrating. So I was leaving the office. I did have a pretty good day at the office actually, because I have just been super stressed about everything that I have to do, but I feel like I was very productive today. I got a lot of things done, and I also got a bit more of an overview of everything that I need to do. It's not very realistic maybe, but I'm just gonna see how far I can get, and then we'll see about the rest of it. But it was a very lovely day at the office. So 3:30 I leave the office because I need to take the train before 4 p.m. in order for my subscription to count. So I check into the train, I sit on the train, we move for 5 minutes, and then the train stops, and I'm like, okay, this can't be that bad. And then they say like, oh, there might be a stranded train, we don't know if we're gonna turn around at the next station and go back, we don't know yet. So we just stood still for like 10 to 15 minutes, and then we did move to the next station, and then they were like, we can't go any further, so we're gonna go back, but in like 25 minutes, because they had to follow like the original timetable, I think. So I was already like, this is not happening to me again on the same day. Like honestly, everything, pretty much everything in public transport went wrong today for me. Like, how does that happen? Like, I am not making this up. So I'm at this train station and I'm checking all the options, and I called Job because he has a lot of knowledge about trains and he always knows what to do. So I called him and he gave me an option where I would have to do 2 more transfers, but I would make it to Amsterdam at 6:35 and the event would start at 7. So that's what I was gonna do, but then I had to check out and check in with my card because one of the trains that I had to get is a different train provider. So now I need to call them tomorrow and ask for my money back, because this is not my fault. Like, I had no other options, and very frustrating. Anyways, I did make the 2 transfers, which was quite good, and then I made it to Amsterdam at 6:35. But since it was a book club event, I had to go home and grab my book, because I can't show up to a book event without a book. The bus got cancelled, and then luckily the bus here goes like every 7 minutes, so I didn't have to wait very long. But I was a little bit short on time, you know, because I get super stressed about being late. Like, I showed up to this event and this girl was like, don't worry, you're not late, don't worry. And I was like, I am freaking 15 minutes late. That is a terrible thing to do. Like, I absolutely hate being late. So the bus arrives, like the next bus, and there is like 50 people that need to be on that bus. So at some point it was getting so full that I was like, I need to be on this bus. So I just pushed myself. So I pretty much just pushed myself. So me and a few people, we just pushed ourselves into this bus, and it was super crowded, but I did make it on. And then I got home a few minutes before 7. No, I actually think I got home at like exactly 7 o'clock. So I quickly changed, so I pretty much just quickly changed and grabbed my book, and then I got on my bike and I got to the event at like 7:15, which apparently wasn't too bad, but I just hate being late so much that it just felt very frustrating to me. And it's just frustrating that the way home took like 3 hours instead of an hour and a half. And yeah, this was just a terrible day to be in public transport. I just didn't like it at all, but I was very productive and the event was really nice. So we're just gonna forget about all of this. I'm gonna go take my makeup off, get ready for bed, and go to sleep because I am very exhausted. Good morning. It is now like 6:15 a.m. and I'm still exhausted. I just put on this workout set from H&M and I'm about to go head to a Core 40 class. Let's go to my workout class.
It would be light, ceiling made of glass, counter space, an ashtray for in a bowl. I could settle down, let it be something on my own. And I might have to get a real job to get the couch that I want.
A little update from me. I had to go to the Birkenstock store today because for the past 2 years I've had the Boston Birkenstocks, but they were actually a size too big, which I never really gave into, but now they are actually uncomfortable, but I do really like them, so I wanted to get them and size down. So I had to go to that store today to get them because they told me to come back on Friday, and I was just kind of dreading it because I, first of all, just didn't really feel like leaving the house, and then also I was just kind of anticipating that they weren't gonna have them because I've already been to the store twice this week, and every time they'd be like, oh, you need to come back on Friday or Monday, and today's Friday, so that's why I wanted to come back. Job and I both wanted to get Birkenstocks, and every time Job, his size wasn't in store, and they had this discount which was only available in the store, and it would make a big difference. It was like a 50 euro difference in total. No, I don't actually know, but it made quite a difference, so we were like, that's worth it if you're getting 2 pairs. But it was so frustrating because they were like, yeah, we can't order them, we also can't reserve them, we can't do anything. That's the only way the discount works. So I went back twice, and today they finally had them. So I was kind of dreading going, but then Job texted me because he saw a TikTok about Harry Styles, because Harry Styles is the cutest human being on earth, because he was obviously in Amsterdam for about a month, and he had a few specific cafes that he would get coffee at, and today he treated everyone to coffee at those cafes. Like, everyone was getting coffee for free, which is so crazy. And one of the cafes is literally around the corner from our apartment, like a 1-minute walk, and Job was like, now that you have to go to the store, might as well go there, get a matcha, take it on your walk, and then kind of romanticize the fact that I was dreading going to the store. So I ended up getting a free matcha from Harry Styles, my bestie, and I also got my new Birkenstocks. Apart from the size, they are the exact same than the ones I have, and I am very excited because now I can finally, hopefully, wear them more comfortably. And yeah, I feel like I just have to be realistic because I have had the worst anxiety for the past few hours actually, and I was at a point where I kind of wanted to cancel going to Harry Styles tonight because I just felt so horrible. But I am very much aware that I'm gonna enjoy it so much because I texted Job this morning that I was so excited, and I am really excited because I obviously went to see Harry 2 weeks ago on my birthday, and it was a really good show, but I feel like the last few shows of his like Amsterdam residency, I feel like you can't really compare them to the first ones. So I'm very grateful and excited that I get to go to the last one and I get to be in a pod, because when I got this pod ticket, I was kind of like, do I really want to spend this much money on these tickets? Because obviously already had a ticket for May 20th. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get it, and I can always sell it if I really don't want to go. But whenever the show started, I was like, I'm so happy that I get to experience this from a pod point of view, you know? Like, I am very excited, but this whole day is just getting to me, and I made myself feel comfortable, and I put on a kind of fun but still very comfortable outfit. I made it fun by wearing boots, but apart from that, it's all black with just a comfortable long sleeve, and then I'm taking this little bag, so I have like a little touch of red. I can't properly show you. I probably shouldn't be standing on the couch, but you get the point. Now I'm really excited. I'm still feeling a little bit anxious about just everything that I need to do this week. Like, it's all just a little bit too much for me right now, if I'm being honest. But it's okay because we got a free matcha, I got a lot of work done, and now we're just gonna go have an amazing night and see Harry Styles. And I really hope he's gonna play the waiting game because he played it last night. And I really hope he's gonna do it again today. Honestly, I'm fine with all of these surprise songs, but I'm just kind of low-key hoping he doesn't do Love of My Life because he played that the other show. And I really want Matilda, Paint by Numbers, or The Waiting Game. But I especially want Little Freak, but I just already know he's not gonna play Little Freak. But yeah, I'm gonna go head to the arena now.
You've got my devotion, the man I can hate you sometimes. Won't you call me baby?